Rain hammered the empty highway as the flickering neon sign of Rest Haven Motel buzzed in the dark. It was past midnight. Inside room 12, Lena Morales, a motel maid in her late 20s, finished her last shift of the night. She was exhausted. Another night of cleaning rooms for travelers who'd never remember her face. She stacked towels, turned off the vacuum, and sighed. Then she heard it, a man's voice, muffled, desperate, coming from the next room. At first, she ignored it. Motels had their share of weird noises, but the tone changed, pleading, then a sharp thud. She froze. Something in her gut told her it wasn't an argument. Curiosity pulled her closer. She leaned toward the door frame, peeking through a small crack where the latch didn't close properly. Inside the next room, two men in black coats stood over a chair. A man was tied to it, duct tape over his mouth, face beaten to a pulp. Lena's breath caught. The taller man leaned in close, his voice cold and calm. "You should have kept quiet." A silenced gunshot echoed softly. The bound man's head dropped. Lena gasped. And that was all it took. The taller man's head turned, and his eyes met hers through the mirror on the wall. "Hey!" one of them shouted. Lena stumbled back, dropping her cleaning cloth. The hallway suddenly felt a mile long. She ran, heart pounding, as the door behind her burst open. "Get her!" Rain slammed the motel windows as she sprinted past the reception. The clerk's chair spun empty. No help coming. She reached for the front door, but a gunshot shattered the glass beside her hand. She ducked, slipping on wet tiles, and ran through the narrow corridor that led to the laundry room. Her reflection flashed across broken mirrors and flickering light bulbs. She pushed open the heavy laundry door, heart hammering. Inside, silence. Just the hum of old machines and dripping pipes. Then footsteps, the calm voice again. "You saw something you shouldn't have, sweetheart. Come out, and it'll be quick." Lena's hands shook. She crouched behind a row of washers, pressing her palm over her mouth to keep from breathing too loud. A shadow moved across the wall. A gun barrel appeared between two machines. She crawled into a maintenance duct, barely fitting inside, and began to move. The metal clanged softly beneath her knees. Behind her, the voice whispered, "I can hear you." She pushed forward, faster now, emerging into the main lobby. The phone line was cut. The motel's lights flickered again, one by one going dark. The storm outside roared louder. She needed to hide. Or fight. She ducked into the manager's office. The night clerk lay slumped over the desk, a single hole in his chest. Her stomach twisted. She grabbed the master key ring from the pegboard and slipped out through the back door. Cold rain poured down on her. Headlights flared in the parking lot. A black SUV idled near the exit, windshield wipers slicing through the rain. The passenger door opened. One of the killers stepped out, scanning the lot with a flashlight. Lena crouched behind a parked car. Water dripped from her hair, her breath misting in the cold. The flashlight beam slid across the asphalt, inches from her feet. A cat darted from under a car, hissing. The man turned, cursing. She took the chance, rolled to the next car, then into the maintenance shed near the dumpsters. Inside the shed, it was dark, dusty, and full of cleaning supplies. She locked the door quietly and grabbed what she could. Bleach, a mop handle, a nail gun left by the handyman. Her mind raced. She'd cleaned this place for years. She knew every door, every shortcut, every blind corner. They had guns. She had desperation. Footsteps outside, rain dripping, then a hard kick. The shed door shook. She quickly set a trap, a bucket of bleach above the door, wired with an extension cord. Crude, dangerous, but it might buy her time. The door burst open. The taller killer stepped in, gun raised. The bucket tipped. The liquid splashed over his face. He screamed, clutching his eyes. Lena grabbed the nail gun and fired. One nail, then another. The man dropped, shrieking, hand pinned to the wall. "Where is she?" the second man shouted outside. Lena crawled out the window, sprinting across the muddy parking lot, back toward the motel. Her feet slipped, her breath ragged. The second killer followed, gun drawn. "Stop running," he yelled. She burst through room 10, slammed the door shut, and waited behind it, panting. Seconds later, he kicked it open. The room went silent except for the rain on the roof. He moved slowly, scanning the shadows. End of the line. Lena stayed low. He stepped closer, gun raised. Then she swung the door hard, smashing him against the wall. He fired, one shot grazing her arm. She screamed but didn't stop. They struggled, knocking over furniture, crashing into the bathroom. The gun slid across the floor. They both dove for it. A flash, then silence. Lena sat on the floor shaking, the gun trembling in her hands. The killer lay still beside her, eyes wide, rain leaking through the cracked ceiling onto his face. Sirens echoed faintly in the distance. Someone must have heard the shots. Lena stepped out into the storm, soaked, pale, exhausted. She looked up at the motel's flickering neon sign. Rest Haven. She let out a weak, bitter laugh. The night air was cold. But she wasn't running anymore. They came to erase a witness. But some things won't stay silent.